What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. I'm in the city, as usual. Just left the office for a minute so I can come out here and kick it with y'all. Actually, I gotta go and pick up my car because it's parked and it's charging, but it's fully charged. I haven't been to a gas station in a very long time. Because the Benz, I don't really drive it in the summertime. I drive the Porsche the entire time. But we're in the city as usual. Good times, good energy. You can hear the music playing out there, so on and so forth, right? And walking over to pick up the car or whatever. But here's the thing, and it's the middle of the day. It's literally 4 o'clock. It's right after 4 o'clock. And it's nice and vibrant in the city. And everything is cool and vibing. But I want to have a serious conversation with you guys. And black people know this. So don't be surprised. But black people are very much familiar with what it is that I'm about to say right now. But it's a very, very uncomfortable truth. Let me show y'all something really quickly before we get into that conversation. So this right here, where everybody is waiting, that's the spot where you pick up your mom's spaghetti. That's Eminem's spot here in Detroit. So if you've never seen it or nobody's ever actually shown you where it is, it's right across from Comerica Park. Fox Theater is behind me. Also the Fillmore. You got the Central United Methodist Church. Downtown is that way. And so this is where it is. This is actually where the new Huntington building is also. They just recently opened this. So this is the new Huntington building. Go all the way up like that. So they just built that here in Detroit. So just familiarizing y'all, well, a few of the different things that's here in the city. The city is vibrant as well. They're actually building a Hudson's building down there. So I don't know if y'all can see that construction right there. So that's where the new Hudson's building is gonna be. And it's a lot going on down here, right? But I was following this YNW Melly case, and I'm not a fan of YNW Melly because, I don't know, music just doesn't necessarily interest me. But I'm very much interested in how things affect the culture, right? And in this YNW Melly case, right, a lot of y'all are not familiar with the details of it, but to make a long story short, it ended in a mistrial. Mistrial meaning that the jurors couldn't come to a conclusion definitively across the board to where either they all agreed that he was guilty or they all agreed that he was innocent, right? Now, keep in mind that there are some people that lost their lives. Every day on the Millionaire Morning Show, I get news and I have to source through whether or not I want to report on something happening in Chicago like this past weekend where 6 people were killed and 16 people were shot over in Philadelphia. Well, 12 people were shot and 3 of them was killed. One of the people that got killed over in Chicago was a 16-year-old boy, and his grandfather is actually a community activist that's been active in the community and pouring into his community for over 20 years, right? And so the interesting thing about that, though, is that when you start taking those things into consideration, and then you want to, have a conversation about justice and peace and what lives matter and all of that other type of stuff, and you start putting it together, the question that I'm always asking myself is, do we really want good communities? Do we really want places where our kids can have peace and don't have to worry about crack bottles and pipes on the ground or glass? Or do we really even want that? I don't think that we do, because our actions speak louder than our words. And I've always believed that communication is 90% of what you do, not what you say. It's 90% of how you present yourself. It's body language. And what you say is just the caveat. It's the cherry on top, right? And I don't really believe that, because justice is necessary and it's innocent until proven guilty. But the other side of that conversation is we know who the culprits are within our communities, right? We know who's committing the crimes. We know who the dope boys are. We know who the killers are. We know who's committing all of the crimes in our own families. I'm not a white person, so I don't know entirely about whether or not y'all operate the exact same way in y'all households, because I wasn't raised in y'all households. I'm not Indian, I'm not Pakistani, I'm not Asian, but I know for a fact that universally across the board, in every hood, in every family, we know who the culprits are. We got a no snitching policy in which we don't believe in telling. We don't believe in doing the thing that's in the best interest of our children. We don't believe in doing the thing that's in the best interest of our community. We protect the worst of us to the detriment of our neighborhoods and to the detriment of our children and our communities and the future generations of us. And the one thing I know for sure, regardless of whether or not you believe YNW Melly is guilty or innocent, is that it's certain people that don't even need to be on the street. Y'all so focused on police reform when you can't even get the beam out of your own eye and address the issues within your own community. What am I saying here? I'm saying that it's very, very easy collectively, if you truly wanted to clean up, your communities, it's very easy collectively to be able to do so. It's not hard. All you would have to do is get the people to do the thing that's in their own best interest, which they will never do. If you want to raise your property values, all you have to do is work with the people that's actually there to arrest the ones that's committing all of the crimes to get them up out of there. You know who the thugs are. You know who's selling the poison in the communities. You know who the killers are. You know who the D-boys are. You know who the gangsters are. You know who the traffickers are. You know who the ones that fill on the little boys and the girls and all of that. You know who the Chesters are. You know who the people that's doing this shit. We all know. We all knew as we was growing up. We all knew as a part of our community. The difference is that we don't start operating like real citizens, like normal citizens are supposed to operate, until we go into a completely different environment that's not native to us. That's not where we grew up at, right? Then you want to start getting the scum out. Then you want to start participating. Then you want to start being a little bit different when it comes to making sure that the scum is removed or all of that other type of stuff. It's too late. It's too late, family. You don't need no government. You don't need no legislative branches. You don't need any of that.
You flew in yesterday.
Huh?
You flew in yesterday.
Yeah.
We saw you in the airport.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we saw you in the airport.
Yeah, I'm in and out all the time.
Okay, awesome.
How y'all doing?
Good, man, good.
I appreciate you. Oh, no, that's cool.
That's the guy from yesterday. What are you using?
Oh, Anton Daniels. This is my name, Anton Daniels.
Okay, we look good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But y'all know who the culprits are. Y'all know who the thugs are. Y'all know who the people are that's committing all of the crimes in your community. Solve for that shit. Otherwise, stop asking for help when you already got everything that you need to get started with and do the basics. To clean up 99% of the problem, you already know how to do so. But why should somebody come in and clean up your own mess when you refuse to address the issues within your own community? Over here in Detroit, we got a city within a city. We got two cities within cities. One of them is Hamtramck, and one of them is Highland Park. Now, Highland Park is a predominantly black city, and it's the worst of the worst. I mean, listen, don't walk through there unless you know somebody that's supposed to be there. And even then, just say, yo, let's meet outside, Highland Park. Let's not do that. There's even people that grew up in HP, their goal was to get up out of HP, all right? Predominantly black community. Then you got Hamtramck. It's not necessarily a financially thriving area, but one of the differences that I've noticed between the two communities, and it's not predominantly black, it's other, let's just say other. One of the things that I noticed between the two communities as one of them are incredibly vigilant when it comes to the things that they don't necessarily care for. So for example, right or wrong, whether you agree with it or not, they decided that they're not tolerating the possibilities of inclusiveness when it comes to gay rights and flags being flown and all of that, and they start addressing that shit, right? Again, right or wrong, regardless of where you stand on a position, they said, nah, we not rocking out like this. This is not what's happening. When they wanted to keep their soccer team, because they got a local soccer team. It's called Detroit FC. I don't know, it's dope, but it's an incredible environment. If you've ever been to a soccer game over in Hamtramck, Detroit Hamtramck, it's incredible. They came together, they came up with the funding, they made sure that all of the team and the stadium was refurbished. They really gathered as a community. They ain't got a lot of resources, they ain't balling out and nothing like that, but you know what they doing? They put action to work. They put feet on the ground, boots to the ground. They don't make no excuses, they don't ask for no help, they just get it. And I'm wondering why we can't do the same. I don't know. Y'all let me know what's happening. Y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also, make sure you tap into Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. I'm curious as to what y'all think about this. That's where I stand on it. But I'm open to the possibility that I'm wrong.